Okay. Thanks all for being here today, and I'm joined by Officer in charge of traffic sections, Shane Johnson, who's here today, and I'm here to talk about Operation Safe Hills. We know that motorcyclists are greatly overrepresented in not just fatalities but serious injuries on our roads. In fact, this year there have been 7 deaths on motorcycles. Across the last 5 years in South Australia, more than 80 deaths, and that's not including hundreds of serious injuries. I'm a motorcyclist myself, although what I ride is not as fancy as what's behind me here, but I have ridden motorbikes almost all my life. I know how dangerous they can be. I know how vulnerable you are on a motorcycle, and the message from SAPOL and the message from me as the Minister for Police and Road Safety in this state is that as we get into warmer weather, into the festive period, people will be, of course, enticed to hop on their bike and head up maybe to the hills or through the Barossa or through the Flurio and go for one of those scenic rides, of which we have many in this state. But you need to know this, that SAPOL and Shane's team will be out there in force making sure that motorcyclists do the right thing in terms of enforcing speed limits, making sure motorcyclists are doing all the things that they need to do to protect themselves and to protect the passenger if they have one as well. Now, one of the things that greatly frustrates me as a motorcyclist is that I regularly see people riding bikes wearing almost no protective gear at all. It makes me shake my head. People wearing shorts and thongs and t-shirts riding a motorbike. And sometimes people who think that if they fall off a scooter, the asphalt is somehow going to feel different than if you fell off something like this. And I can tell you that is not the case. People need to remain vigilant, wear the right stuff, follow the speed limit, but also understand that the majority of those incidents where a motorcyclist might die on the road or is seriously injured actually occur in single vehicle accidents where the motorbike hits a stationary object or comes off the road. I think that shows just how vigilant and careful our motorcyclists need to be, but I think it's great that SAPOL are putting Operation Safe Hills in place to do more to make sure that this festive period is not just a happy one, an enjoyable one, but a safe one where we don't see deaths on our roads. Before passing over to Shane, I also mentioned that our crime data is out today, and it's good news for South Australia. A 4% drop across this reporting period, which is really good news. I think it shows not just that the work that SAPOL's doing is having a real effect, but almost 4 years now of investment and strong laws from the Malinaskis government is actually making a difference. Now, we're not seeing this in other states, but here in South Australia, for example, we have the strongest knife laws in the country. We've made a $172 million commitment to increase sworn police by 326 and commitments to increase PSO numbers by 189. They are big commitments. We have had declared precincts at shopping centres to give police the powers to search for knives. We are doing all the things that we need to do to make sure that we drive our crime rates down and that they don't get to the same point that we are seeing in other parts of Australia. I'll pass over now to the officer in charge, and then I'm happy to take questions on this or any other matters you might have for today.
Thank you, Minister. Superintendent Shane Johnson, Officer in charge of South Australian Police Traffic Services Branch. As the Minister alluded to, as the sun comes out and we approach the summer months, we will see an increased number of motorcyclists on our roads, typically in the Adelaide Hills, Southern Hills and country locations. And we want to make sure that those motorcyclists are doing the right thing and staying safe on our roads. This year, tragically, 7 motorcyclists have lost their lives on South Australian roads, and also a further over 160 motorcyclists have received serious injuries. If we look at the last 5 years, 81 motorcyclists have lost their lives on our roads. And what we typically are seeing, the main contributors to those lives lost and serious injury collisions on our roads is riders who are drink and drug driving, riders who are riding dangerously, and also riders who are taking risks on the road and speeding and taking those unnecessary risks. We don't want to see any more lives lost and serious injury collisions involving motorcyclists on our roads. South Australian Police will be conducting Operation Safe Hills, and we've actually commenced the operation. It will run right through summer and into next year. And for Operation Safe Hills, we will be providing a high visibility police presence. We'll have additional police on the roads, and we will be deploying speed cameras at locations through the Adelaide Hills, Southern Hills, and also country locations. So our message to motorcyclists is don't risk demerit points on your licence, don't risk losing your licence, and don't risk having your motorcycle impounded. But most importantly, don't risk your life and don't risk the lives of other road users. We want everyone to stay safe and be safe on the road. Please ride safe and arrive safe. Thank you, and I'll hand back to the Minister for any questions.
Thanks. Superintendent. Any questions on this or anything else? Thank you, Superintendent.
Well, just on this, do you notice this warmer period that we lose more people lose their lives on these scenic rides rather than everyday?
No, that's exactly right. You know, in warmer weather, and I'm someone who rides a motorbike up through the hills from out in the northeastern suburbs. We have got some really scenic rides in South Australia, through the hills, through the Furio, through the Barossa, and the warmer weather, people get out on their bikes and there are more bikes on the road. That raises the risk, and we need to be out there just reminding people that they need to do the right thing all the time. And that's what Operation Safe Hills is all about. And I think it's a really good step to protect the lives of not just motorcyclists, but sometimes the pillion passenger they've got in the back as well.
With the 7 deaths this year, is that a slight improvement on the last 5 years?
Do you know if
Sorry, what was that
Is
question?
7
deaths so
more or
far
less.
this year. Is that an improvement on what we've seen over the last 5 years?
The last 5 years, it's been...
Maybe step up.
Sorry,
Yeah.
you can.
Yeah, thank you. 7 lives lost to motorcyclists this year is a reduction from last year, but we treat every life lost as tragic, and we aim for 0 lives lost. So we want motorcyclists to heed the message. Look, the majority of crashes, when we look at the crash data, is motorcyclists who are leaving the road, losing control of their motorcycle, leaving the road and hitting a fixed object. We know motorcyclists are vulnerable. If you're coming off your bike, then more than likely you're going to be seriously injured. So our message is ride safe, ride to the conditions, and keep yourself safe so that you arrive safe.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks again. Can you give us an update on the search for little Gus?
Yes. So I haven't got any new information regarding those searches that the police were doing regarding mine shafts, but once the information is available, I'm sure that will be made public. I know nightmare situation for the family here, but also all South Australians, I think, are sort of riding that with Gus's family. Certainly I've spoken to the police about it. I think they're doing everything they can. They are taking it incredibly seriously. They are following up leads and other opportunities to try and find Gus. But as more information becomes available, we will make that public, but I don't have that today.
Are you having daily briefings with the police commissioner or the officer on the ground?
When there is an update to provide, St. Paul provide that with me, and that's what I've asked it to happen. So I've spoken to the Commissioner about it personally. Obviously, I'm heavily invested in it as the police minister, but I think all South Australians are heavily invested in this as well. We've had those other cases in the past, like the bottom officer being unsolved, and I think the memories of that live with South Australians, and the disappearance of Gus reminds them of things like that as well. So it's a terrible situation, but I'm confident that St. Paul are doing everything they can to try to find him and to follow up new leads if and when they come to light.
And on one item, have investigators had a chance to speak to him in the hospital?
I haven't had an update on it, but I'm reassured that they're going to do everything they can, and that's important. I think Bevan Spencer one item belongs in the ground. I think once he's there, I don't think anyone's going to be coming to visit his gravesite. I understand how South Australians feel about this and the things that have brought up over the last few days. But the reassurances that I have had is that the relevant authorities will do everything they can in that situation, and if there is an update, we will provide that.
Do we know around about how long he's got?
I don't know how long that is. The reports I've seen is near end of life is what I'm saying. I don't have any